What's up, guys? We are back to a packed house in the shop trying to get this bike here is supposed to be gone. The Silverado's back because I'm driving the Ram again, and I'm gonna do some work on this. Hopefully found some new seats and put some carpet and make it livable instead of like a farm truck in there. Got some new wheels for it. Mind you, the tires are done. The tires are just basically space holders for now. They're all worn out. From this side, you can kind of see them, but like I said, it's a packed house in here. So I'm trying to find a, let's see, is there a light in there? Nah, it doesn't do much. But this seat is crushed from the former owner. It was a little rounder than he was tall, so that seat is done. That seat's nice, but I want to get matching ones, so I'm getting the ones with the armrest and in leather if I can find a set that I feel are worth the money. So that's the shop, and we're potentially moving to another shop. Of course, again, every summer I say the same thing, but this time we actually have a shop that I'm looking at, and we're just haggling about the price right now. Problem is, it's not insulated and all that kind of good stuff, so that's gonna create havoc for me with the bikes and stuff. So outside I have a new surprise. Well, not a surprise, I guess, but I got a new hunting rig, and here she is. Yes, another 2000 step side. Only this one's extended cab and four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive don't work because it needs an actuator. You push the button, you can hear it try to change, but it won't, so something's stuck, or I'm not sure what's going on there. The guy who owned it previously beat the hell out of it. It's from Mexico. So it's originally a Canadian truck, but for the last 16 years it's been in Mexico. So that's what all the red clay apparently is from, because it is literally everywhere, in the vents, under the hood, everywhere. But it's relatively rust free. Like in Canada here, every one of them is rotted out right here. This one's just starting to go, so I might be able to pick up another fender, or I'll just fix that one up maybe. This is literally only going to be for out in the sticks and the winter time and hunting and stuff. So, but the bottom's nice and clean all the way along, nice and, well, the box is polyurethane, so that doesn't count. Has a couple issues on the other side, and it needs a new bumper. I've already swapped out the wheels. Those are my wheels off the other Silverado, and the brakes are fine on it. They've been done. Now we have a problem underneath. As you can see right there, the frame cracked. And why did the frame crack? Because somebody's not very smart. Now you can see on the other side, it's been hit. I'll circle it in the video so you can see it, but before it had these bars on here, he bottomed it out on something. So that side is actually just cracked like that, which I'm gonna fix that and I'll weld it up. But this scab here that he put on has to come off, and I'll weld it up solid like it should be, so it's safe and I don't have to worry about it breaking it. The guy, you can also tell from here that the muffler is missing. It is loud as hell. Quick look under the back tells you the story. Look at that hanger. What a catastrophe that is. That is just nastiness, and the other side's no better. So we got some work ahead of me underneath here. All the springs are broke. You can see tied rubber bands around them. That's gonna help. But all the, so the two top leaves are literally sitting on the overload springs, and there's chunks of them missing out of both sides. So she needs all new springs in the rear. The front is solid except for the idler arm, which is like loose as a $3 whore. But otherwise, it's not too bad body wise. It's nice and clean. Like in Canada, those are all rotten. The seats, let's see, the seat's not that bad. It's not ripped or torn up or anything like that, so that's not too bad. decently clean inside. You can see he had a stereo setup of some kind in here. I'm not even sure I trust it, or where the power's coming from, or if it's still hooked up, or I haven't looked into any of that because I really didn't care. The windshield was destroyed. I've already put a new one in there. My oldest boy came over and put a new windshield in it. Oh geez, a couple days ago anyway. But I just picked it up last weekend, and I was gonna film it, but then I forgot the camera, of course. So this guy's had this all set up, and then you can see he's got a brake controller here, and then we wonder what's going on and why the frame is cracked, because he was hauling a 36-foot motor, you know, RV trailer with a 1500, so it was way overloaded, plus four adults all the way from Mexico. So, and we're in southwestern Ontario, so that's a bit of a drive. That's touring. So this side, I think, I don't know if they painted it or what, but all the graphics that were on it, the Z71 thing, is all missing from this side. Not that I really care. I'll just buff it out. I'm not fussy on the color, but hey, what do you want? These trucks are generally going, most people would probably stay away from it without especially with a cracked frame and a fifth wheel. So I'm going to sell the wheels that originally came on it, which are in the shop, and I put these big ones on so it would drive nicer. The truck literally has 400,000 kilometers, and it still drives like a brand new truck other than that patch. So I figure I can re-weld that and make it look pro, and put, of course, new rear springs. And then I'm going to sell this fifth wheel because I have no use for it, because I have no plans on having enough money to buy a toy hauler. Well, it would be really nice though, wouldn't it? But I can probably sell this thing, and should I decide to get a toy hauler down the road, then we'll get one. And this guy had an affinity for stickers. There was that one, and then there was one on the windshield in the middle that's gone, and then he's got these on both sides of the truck. It's like, my god, he's sticker happy, that boy. It's not really in bad shape. I gotta put a new cluster in it likely, because take this apart. It's probably just a bad ground, because it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't, so I probably have to resolder our ground on that. So that's the only thing that's wrong inside. And this monstrosity of whatever he's got in here for a stereo is gonna come out. I don't know if it actually has a changer in it or not. It's got changer control, so that tells you how old this thing is, that deck. I don't know if this is the truck. No, we looked at another truck that had a CD changer in it. We looked at a few trucks, and this was the best one out of them all, or I wouldn't have bought it. Some of them I literally walked away as soon as I saw it. It's got an exhaust leak on that back of that manifold, so hopefully I can tighten that up. I keep spraying it, so I'm hoping that I'm able to bust them both loose and tighten them up, or I'll take them out and put a new stud in and just put a nut on, so that until I decide to tear this thing down, it'll at least hold it together. It's a 5.3. As you can see, we had it out back, so the oak tree just likes to shed leaves all over it, but we'll take her and clean her all up and see. Yeah, there's the remnants of the stereo. Not real sure I'd trust all that, but doesn't matter. We're not putting anything on there anyways. It's kind of Mickey Mouse, Jesus Christ. Questionable stuff gets you cheap trucks, I guess, and I'll get her all back to working. I'm not too worried about the AC, because this truck will generally sit from May to September. It'll just sit in the shop, and I'll be driving the other Silverado. I've already got the Ram up for sale, so if I sell the Ram, this will be my full-time get-around truck in the wintertime, and then I'll drive the Silverado in the summer, just to work and back. I'd prefer to ride the bikes, but it's not always possible at such shit weather. I think I've been able to ride to work 6 times this year. So we hooked her all up. She's got no codes in there. I thought it might give me a code on the 4-wheel drive, but it didn't with that scanner anyways. I'll use my other one maybe if I have to. But when you try to switch it, you can hear the actuator motor try to change, but it doesn't actually change, and then it just faults and goes back to 4 high. But it's actually only in 2. So we're not sure. This guy put a new transmission in it, and that's what the first thing I'm going to get under there, and we can't, it doesn't go into park. So I don't know if he's doesn't know how to adjust the cable, or if something's legit way off under there. So the whole point of buying it was the 4-wheel drive, so we have to get that working. But he's like, I can hear the actuator try to engage, so we'll start with that, and then well, we'll start with the cable and go from there. So this is a 2000, but he put a 2006 transmission in it with 140k on it. It runs nice, it drives out nice, like shifts fine, other than the god-awful exhaust literally rattle the teeth out of your head. And so first things first, let's get that 4-wheel, well, let's get it so it'll go into park first. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but I sprayed this stuff on those 2 nuts down in there. Gave them a couple squirts, maybe 10 minutes apart. Came back, tightened them right up. Move no problem. So hopefully that fixes that exhaust leak. So let's go underneath the truck, because I think he's this guy's favorite thing in the toolbox is mechanics wire. So if you can see that, that's the shift cable, and it's in the wrong spot. It's got to be forward. I just wired it in place, so that'll be one more thing to do. I don't know, somebody was really energetic to get a shitty sounding exhaust, because it sounds absolutely horrible, and when you drive it, it's like, just, I don't know, it's not so bad as long as you're not on the gas. But oh god, I got my work cut out for me with this one. It's got a nasty oil leak on the engine too. It's got lots of oil in it, so can't be leaking too badly, but that's historically been leaking a long time. So well, we'll get at her. See if I can't figure out this shift thing first and maybe get it working. So she goes into park. I cut out all that crap he had in there, and I just wired it to where it's actually supposed to be. So for now, that'll have to do. I didn't have to adjust it or anything once I had it in the right spot. Tomorrow I'll come and sew these up. The other side's the same way. Bit of wear on it, but it's comfy, and let's face it, I'm literally gonna have my big muddy boots in there and everything else. I'm gonna try and clean it up as much as possible. Took off all the frickin' Chevy stuff he had on there. He had bow ties on it everywhere. And there's one on the back too, but I'm gonna have to use the Goo Gone to get that stuff off there. Just put it on there with that double-sided 3M tape. And obviously I need a new bumper, so I'll order a new bumper, or I'll take the bumper off the black Silverado, put it on this one, and then I might put a roll pan on the other one. So, and if I'm gonna get a new one and put it on the truck, it'll be on the black one. But she doesn't look bad with those black wheels. We'll get her all cleaned up. This door would not work. That same spray that I used on the exhaust, fucking perfect. That's it for today, guys.